Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Tammy from Little Buddy's Preschool Center sitting on my cozy chair to read you another Christmas story. This one's called Mooseltoe by Margi Palatini. I hope you enjoy. 'Twas the season, and Moose was merry. He joyfully tickled the ivories with a tune full of tidings and a flurry of fa-la-las. He was so full of ho-ho-hos, even his moustache had holiday spirit. But Moose was more than a bit merry and bright. He was busy. And there was lots to be done on his list of to-dos, but with orderly organization, a bit of regimentation, lots of imagination, and just plain old Moose know-how, getting ready for the big day should have been simple, easy. Yes, in all probability, just perfectly perfect. He wasted not one merry minute. Moose got moving and put some hustle into the holiday bustle. He went to work and he wrote cards and letters until his hoofs hurt. Check. He shopped until he dropped. Check. He hustled home, boxes and bags and presents galore. Moose had gifts for everyone stacked from ceiling to floor. Check. Then he wrapped, yo, and he ribboned, ho. And on each and every package, he tied a big, beautiful bow. Check and double check. So far, so simple, so easy, so perfectly perfect. Another look at his list, and Moose headed for the kitchen. He pulled out pots and pans and bowls and sifted through sacks and racks of cookbooks. He whistled to his left and spooned with his right. Moose baked tons of tins of cookies. Check. Dozens of cakes and breads and sweets. Check. Made jellies, sticky jams. Moose roasted a goose and some chestnuts. He toasted marshmallows and yams. Check. Triple check. Yes. So simple, so easy, but of course, so perfectly perfect. Decorations were up on his list next of things to do and to get done. So Moose decked the halls, and he spruced up the walls. He beaded, bowed, and mistletoed. He gathered garlands, roped wreaths and holly, jingled bells, sang noels. Oh, good golly, this Moose was jolly. Check. He did a lot of things on his list. Last but not least, he hung all the stockings, each and every one with special care. And just in time, too, because soon Santa would be there. Check and final check. Yes, sirree, getting ready for Christmas was an absolute snap. And so simple, so easy. And if he did say so himself, Moose thought totally, utterly, completely, perfectly perfect. But can everything be perfectly perfect? I don't know. On that night before Christmas, Mother, little Sissy, Bucky, and Junior looked all through the house. What a job Moose had done. Everything looked so bountiful, festive, quite fine indeed, but there was just one minor problem. If you will, oh dear, sighed Mrs., and the five stared into one empty corner. Oh gee. Pop, what happened? Cried Junior. You forgot the tree. Uh-oh. Oops. Where would they hang the tinsel, string the popcorn, light the lights? Where would Santa leave his presents for the kiddies at Christmas Eve night? So Moose put on his galoshes and put on his hat, and he would find a tree somewhere, somehow. And that's all there is to that. So out went Moose, bravely bustering through the blowing winds and the cold, trudging through snowdrifts, courageous and bold. Let's see if he'll find a tree. Moose first hoofed it down to the corner, not a tree to be had. And then he slid around the block. Oh no, things were looking bad. He went down every boulevard, street, and little road, and he looked down lanes and alleys. Every tree had been sold. There wasn't a branch, not a twig, not even a lousy bough hanging around. Nope, nothing, not a tree to be found. Poor Moose, he wanted things to just be perfect. No tree, sighed a sad Moose, and he came home empty-handed that snowy evening. The kids tried to make the best of it. They said, oh, so who needs a tree? But Moose could plainly see they were short on the glee. He knew he had to do something, and that's just what he did. In the empty corner, he stood, and he spread his arms out very, very, very wide. And then he smiled at his children, and he winked at his bride. Kids, he declared, fetch your forgetful pop some of that tried and true family gloop. I wonder what he's going to do. So back came the kids carrying a big pot of glue, and without a word to one another, they knew exactly what to do. They each took a part, grabbing strands, taking hold, and carefully, oh so carefully, they glopped and they plopped and they pasted and they pressed. And they twirled and they twirled and they curled, and with every follicle they could fathom, until Moose's magnificent moustache was indeed even more of a marvel to see. Whoa. Moose was just a few needles shy of being an evergreen tree. They strung Moose with lights from head to toe, and he draped him with tinsel, beginning right with his nose. They hung balls that were shiny and bells that twinkled, candy canes, berries, and plums, sugar sprinkled. And then they all stood back, and Junior plugged in his pop. Ooh, ah. Yes, Moose truly was one incredible sight. He was glorious and glowing, and boy, oh boy, was he ever bright. Then Junior placed the star on top of Moose's head, boop, and he gave him a kiss and a pat, and they all headed off to bed, except for Moose, of course. He stayed in the corner instead, still twinkling and blinking and waiting for Santa. Oh, so it wasn't so simple, and it wasn't so easy, and okay, it wasn't so perfectly perfect. But do you know what? It was pretty close. Look at, there he is with the star on his head. But there's an extra set of eyes. Oh my goodness, who is it? Oh. Is that Santa? I hope you enjoyed the story. Bye for now.